What's up, Raider Nation? This is DJ Greencap, and you're listening to the Raider Party Podcast.
What's up, Raider Nation? This is Thought Off, and you're listening to the Raider Party Podcast. Yeah.
Hey, Raider Nation. Episode 3 is about to begin, and it's a great night to spend together. Hey, Homer, how you feeling tonight?
I'm doing well. You know, I'm coming back from Oakland. You know, I had a hell of a trip. So it was fun. Started out a little rough, but ended well.
Hey, you know what? Let's tell our listeners how they can stay in contact with us, because we are on many social media platforms. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube under Raider Party Podcast, or on Twitter, Raider Party Pod, and on email, RaiderPartyPodcast@gmail.com. So as we go through this season together, we look forward to interacting with you and hearing more information from you. This is a give and take. So what you giving? Because I'm here and I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, Raider Nation, man. Make sure y'all contact us. Get involved with the podcast. You know, let us know what you want to hear more of.
Who do we have on the show tonight, Homer?
Well, we have Mike Sipe returning of the Raiders Boosters of York. And we have Todd Brown, president of the South Mississippi Raiders Fan Club, coming on for a second time also onto the Raider channel. First time on the Raider Party Podcast.
Now, this episode is going to be a little bit different than previous episodes, because we're going to be recapping what our experiences were like over this weekend. And let me tell you, there were some highs and there were some lows. So we're going to talk a little bit about what happens when you're on vacation and you get hyped, and then what happens when you're on vacation and some unexpected things happen. So it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Oh, yeah. You know, I definitely had some interesting things happen this weekend, you know, myself, you know. But like I said, you know, I was able to finish out the weekend strong, get a lot of content, and network, you know. So it turned out to be a positive overall trip.
Great. So let's get into some specifics about your trip to Oakland. I am still on the road. I'm actually in Denver right now, and I haven't even had a chance to post all the awesome pictures that we got from the trip. So tell me a little bit about how you organized your trip. In previous podcasts, we said, okay, you got to organize, and you had a packed schedule. So tell me a little bit about what happened when you first got there.
Well, like I said in the last couple of episodes, you know, my trip to Merced, you know, I had some hiccups. You know, I misplaced things, lost things, was late to the airport. So on this trip to Oakland, I made sure that I had everything in order, everything packed. I had a list like you had said to do. You know, I had made sure that my app was up to date and all this and that. And I had, you know, I checked in 24 hours beforehand. You know, I left early to the airport. You know, I gave myself plenty of time. You know, but unfortunately, one of the mishaps was we did not go straight to the hotel, and people broke into our car in San Leandro.
Whoa!
So yeah, that was a negative. But you know, it started the weekend rough. But you know, I just said, you know what? I traveled lightly, luckily, though, before I get into what I was thinking.
Yes.
You know, so I made sure to travel lightly. I did lose about $500 worth of electronics, but lesson learned, you know, always make sure you go to the hotel first and check in and drop your bags off.
Yes. Very good point. Very good point. So let me co-sign by saying I had a little bit of a situation. I set my alarm, and I typically do it. I set it twice to make sure that I wake up. I was so exhausted before flying out to Vegas that I overslept through 2 alarms. And fortunately, my husband called me, and I did wake up, but when I got to the airport, I missed my flight by 5 minutes.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine? So I'm trying to do this O.J. Simpson with a limp, of course, because I'm not as fit, okay? And I get to the gate, and they felt so sorry for me. I was lucky enough that they were able to put me on the last plane heading out west that day. So I had to run again to another gate, and I finally got to that flight, but I ended up having a layover in L.A., and by the time I got to Vegas, it was 8 hours off schedule.
Oh, man.
So I didn't get a chance to have lunch with my in-laws. So I had to reschedule everything to have dinner with them. So it was just, it was a bit rough. I got to say, I'm co-signing on it, the trip starting off rough, but it ended spectacularly. So tell me about what happened during the flag ceremony.
Oh, man. The flag ceremony was awesome. Houston Raider Steve, he invited me to the flag ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks again, Houston Raider Steve. And then we got down there. We got to take pictures with, Jersey and Mob Boss and OG Raider.
Wow.
It was really awesome, because, we went through the K-Lot, we got to go down underneath the tunnels, where they hold all the athletics equipment and field, where all the field stuff is that they take care of the field with. And, we came out, we did our rehearsal, and everything went well. We got to take pictures, being on the stadium. I tried to get as much, footage as I could. And then,
man.
Yeah, they let us out, and then I ran through the black hole, and I ran through KOS's tailgate, ran into a bunch of the super fans, and then we went back down there, and it was awesome, man, because, the crowd's pumping, they're introducing the Raiders, the cheerleaders are going off, and you're just standing there, and you're looking around like, what the, oh, man, you're part of the ceremony. It's awesome, you know what I mean? And then, boom, they call, we got our cue, and we start running down there, and we get in line, and we're holding the flag, and we're waving it, and I was right there by the black hole, so, all those super fans in the black hole saw me. I got a lot of footage. They were all sending me footage, man. It was fantastic. It was one of the greatest times of my life, and especially considering that we won. That was Gruden's 100th win, so
Oof.
That, to me, it made that trip all worth it, even though I lost some stuff, but I did gain experience, because I won't make that mistake again.
That's right. That's right. Black Thanos was right, He brought the wins.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The deliverer of wins. Oh, yeah. He made sure to post and then tag me on it and to remind me that he brought that win.
Yes. I watched the game from Superbook, the Westgate in Las Vegas. And there's a couple of places that I could have gone to. Could have gone to Office 6. Could have gone to the Link. Our Raider brothers and sisters were spread all over Vegas that night. But I was at the Superbook at Westgate because that's also where a trade show was that I had to be at. And let me just tell you, being around so many Raider fans, being away from home and being surrounded by family, it's a phenomenal feeling. It's unmatched. And to win like that and to yell and cheer and do shots, it was incredible. And also to be by a charging station. That is one thing that Las Vegas sports books and Superbooks, again, they make it so comfortable for fans and fanatics like myself. So, you were in Oakland, I was in Vegas. It was just, again, we were all on one accord, even though we were, hundreds of miles away from each other. And it just felt so good. So if you had one travel do-over from this experience, what would that be?
Well, it would definitely be taking my bags and checking into the airport first. I mean, that was something that I normally do, but we were a little early, so we were like, well, we'll just go ahead and swing by and get some Raider gear, and unfortunately that was the wrong decision, so I would definitely try to maybe plan my trip to where maybe I'm flying in closer to the check-in, so I don't have to wait around to check in and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
So I might
Mm-hmm.
consider that next time.
Mm-hmm. I want to share with you a trick that I use a lot. Sometimes when I'm checking into a hotel early and my room's not ready, or checking in early is not an option, one of the things that I do is I go over to the bellhop and I pay to have them watch my luggage.
Oh.
So that's something that I really want to share with you. And it's also something that I do when I check out of a hotel, but I'm still hanging around. Like, for example, I had meetings at the Westgate. So my checkout, I did late checkout. So my checkout was at 3. Then I took my luggage over to bellhop, asked them to hold it for me so that I could meet with my party later on that evening, and then come back and get my luggage, and then take the red eye to Denver, where I am right now. So bellhop, core value, if your room is not ready, or you want to hang around in the city for a little while longer before you catch your flight.
Well, I wish you would have told me that before I left. But hey, you know what? I'll know
now,
it
wait a
next
minute.
time.
Wait a minute. I can't cover every detail every single time, brother.
Oh,
Give a sister
man.
a break.
No.
Okay.
Totally not your fault. Totally not your fault. but thanks for the tip and trick. I'll definitely
You're
be
welcome.
using that. Okay, so, you were sharing a little bit about your experiences. So, what was your most memorable moment in Vegas?
Well, let's see. I have to say, walking around the Westgate Hotel, because I'm going to share with listeners what my favorite hotels and my favorite locations are to stay in a future podcast. So I'm going to say this again to listeners. I'm going to talk to you about favorite hotels to stay in Las Vegas and some of the perks of staying there. So Westgate's kind of sort of on my list, but kind of sort of not. But I must say, Westgate has the best sports book, super book in Vegas, and it's constantly being mentioned by people who do like to wager. So that's something that I should say is a good thing about my experience. But the most memorable thing about my Vegas trip was just walking around and seeing so many people in Raider gear all the time.
Oh, yeah.
What the world? In the Washington, D.C. area, I feel like running up to someone when I see them wearing, our colors. But being in Las Vegas and seeing our colors constantly, it was like an overload. It was like a sugar rush. It was awesome. It was just so awesome just seeing Raider gear all the time. And then finding out that Fox 5 is one of our premier stations, that was kind of weird. And I guess I'll get used to it. That was kind of weird. But just seeing Raider gear everywhere. And there's a Raider store in the Westgate. So just lots of cool gear in there, including fingernail polish and nail decals and all kinds of cool things like that. So, just Vegas is just so welcoming, and just seeing and people wanting to talk about, our team all the time. It's just all the time. And people just walking up to me and saying, well, where are you from? And just wanting to chat it up. I barely made it to the essential meetings that I was supposed to because I was constantly being distracted by these beautiful brothers and sisters in our gear. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. What about you? Your most memorable? You've had many memorable moments, but what was the most memorable moment for you in Oakland?
Well, like I said, it was the flag ceremony for sure, but if I'm gonna think about some other things, like, okay, so, I go to the Black Hole party, the kickoff party, right? And where I'm walking around and people, they're talking to me and all this and that, but, I walk up to the violator and he recognized me, so that was really cool, to put in all that work and to get a little bit of recognition, that's definitely going to be a memorable moment for the rest of my life, especially coming from Wayne, Wayne has been doing this for 28 years, he's been
yes. I can't wait to get him on the show.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully I don't get all fangirl and Raider Wea on him.
Yeah. It's all right. You'll get control of her. No big deal.
Oh my!
I'll just have to interrupt you next time during the call.
No, oh yes, you will. Yes, you will. Permission granted.
Right,
she's not gonna come get you.
You promise, right?
I promise tonight. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I can't tell you how she's gonna feel later. I really can't. You can't plan for everything that can happen when you travel. But I think the key is, pacing yourself according to your pennies and your personalities. Whether you have two, like I do, or one. When you're away from home, things can happen. And how you handle it and the spirit in which you persevere and stretch your pennies is the difference between being able to tell a great story or being able to tell a story that's just fraught with, disappointment. Win, lose, or tie, we are fabulous. We are Raider Nation. And so we will persevere.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And legions of us will descend on Vegas. Oh. And we will make it our home.
2020.
It is going to happen.
Oh yeah, 2020. I just can't wait to travel over there. I love going to Oakland. Don't get me wrong. But I haven't seen Vegas. It's a tourist destination. There's so much to do. I would love to go there. I'm excited to see the new stadium. It's going to be state of the art. So it's the only thing I wish I would have made it to LA within the 2 years that the Rams and the Chargers play, at the Coliseum. I wish I could have made that.
I agree.
But hey,
I agree.
I'll go see maybe a USC game there or something, just so I can say I went to that stadium and then complete the trilogy or whatever, the trifecta, the hat trick.
Yes. Well, that's one of the reasons why I think it's just so important to talk about history and our legacy and being a part of it.
Right.
It took me a minute to make that a priority, because you've got your kids when they're young and, you've got being in school and you've got so many other things that we're trying to balance in addition to our passions. And if no other time in history, now is a good time to reset and enjoy the next few months before the draft. The draft is going to be magnificent.
Oh yeah.
And before the opening of the stadium. This is a point in time. This is a point in history where it's a core value to reset and enjoy these spectacular moments.
Yeah,
and
if you
can I just tell you, I'm so glad to be able to enjoy them with you.
Awesome.
I haven't had a chance to tell listeners this guy is an awesome producer, and
Come
he
on
takes
now.
such good care of me. I have strong brothers, beautiful brothers surrounding me, and I'm having the time of my life. And it's just so awesome that, listeners are able to share this with us as well. So,
Oh yeah.
appreciation and big love going all around right now.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. You are a great podcaster. You make it easy. I love the way you keep everything organized and scheduled. And thank you. You make it easy for me to make this podcast.
I do my best, brother. I do my best.
All right, cool. So as I mentioned earlier, Mike Sipe is coming back on. He's gonna finish up. I guess he's gonna be talking about some of these other things that he's had going on, or some of these events coming up.
So Mike is my travel partner, and I think now is a good time, since we're talking about things that can happen when we go on hashtag Raider Nation Family Vacays. And he had to make a major adjustment when he traveled with one of his travel partners, Bruce, earlier this year. And I'd like our listeners to hear a little bit more about that. So let me see if I can get him on the phone.
Raiders all day, every day. I'm Travis, the host of the Snap Debating Podcast, member of the DC Metro Raiders, and you're listening to the Raider Party Podcast. What's up, Raider Nation? This is your boy Mike Summers from the Raiders Fan Convention, and you're watching the Raider Homer channel. Go Raiders!
All right. Hey, Homer.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Homer. Hey, Nikki.
What's up, Mike? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm still on a high from Monday night's win. How about you?
Ooh, same here, man. I had a great time in Oakland, dude. Don't get me going, man. We're talking about traveling.
What?
Get me off script here. No, I had a great time, man. I had a great time.
Yeah,
Thanks
so
for
did I. It
asking.
was great.
So you were there?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No, I wish I was. Friends of mine were there, but you were there, right?
Oh yeah. We got to go on the field for the flag ceremony. Dirty Jers, she got me into the black hole for a little bit, and I even got some footage, that I found on the TV. So man, it was great. It was a great experience.
I saw
That's
so
awesome.
many people on TV that I know. I was like, what the world? What the world? It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
awesome.
I wish the three of us could have been there together, but
Oh, that's going to happen later this season. Trust.
Houston, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. So Nikki was just telling me that you had to make a major adjustment when you traveled to Nashville earlier this year when we met at the NFL draft. So let me know. I mean, what kind of major adjustment did you have to make?
Well, it was five of us that were going to meet Nikki. My friend Dan and Bruce, they're big Giant fans, and two musicians. Need to give a shout out to Buddy on drums and Crazy Joe on harmonica. The four of them wanted to go with me. I said, sure. And when I made the reservations, I just remembered saying DCA. And as anyone knows, when you see DCA, that can mean Baltimore, Washington International, Dulles, or Reagan. And the five of us couldn't fit in a car, so Bruce and I got a one vehicle. Dan, Buddy, and Crazy Joe got another vehicle. they went to the proper airport. They went to Reagan.
Oh, man.
I went to Dulles by accident.
Oh.
Got to Dulles, looked up at all the boards and the screens, and didn't see any flights to Nashville.
Straight panic mode from there, huh?
So it was all good. Just got right back in the car and drove to the next airport. Unfortunately, missed the flight due to not having a boarding pass right away and had to go through security. And I thought my friend Bruce, the Giants fan, I thought he was very upset at me because we were missing his flight, but he was really cool about it. He said, let's just go to the bar and drink and wait for the next flight.
That's a good remedy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And we didn't get on that flight. We didn't get on the first one. We were bumped on that one. There was 8 of us that wanted to get on, that were on standby, and they only took 2. So, but then the very next flight, we made it. And I was texting Nikki the entire time, and she was, I guess, pretty thrown off about it at first. She couldn't believe I made that mistake, but I said, look, I'll be there.
Now, did you have to deal, at this point when you're texting her, were you dealing with Raider Nikki or Raider Wea?
Oh, no. No, we're not doing this.
I'm not exactly sure, but it all worked out. She, as soon as we got to the hotel, she told me exactly what bar she was at, and she said she was underneath a TV screen, underneath the TV at a certain bar, and so we found her. So
it worked out, yeah.
Yeah, it worked out great.
So the Washington, D.C. area has 3 airports, and arriving at the wrong airport happens more often than people think, actually. I've even heard stories of Uber or Lyft and Uber drivers who, are new on the job, taking people to the wrong airport. So,
wow.
So it's very uncomfortable, but it's not uncommon. So, key to being successful is making sure that you double and triple check which airport it is, not only using the call letters, but writing down the airport. And the other thing that's kind of crazy is that airports have more than one name. So you got National Airport, you got Ronald Reagan Airport, you got DCA. It's all the same place, but you have different names. So, really making sure that you have that is the key to being successful. And then notifying your party, which you did, so that, people who are waiting aren't worried. That's the courteous and kind thing to do, so that they don't get in their cup and have too many, and they can be kind because they haven't had too much to drink. Okay? Just letting guys know that particular trip, I was in a great mood and I was happy.
So, we've been talking about memorable moments, and of course I just mentioned that we met in Nashville and we're talking about, this hiccup, but surely there was a more memorable moment than the hiccup at the airport.
Oh, absolutely. That city's fantastic. As you know, you were there.
Yeah.
I remember seeing fans from all 32 teams being represented, and just the whole city, the hospitality, the food, the music. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I had a great time.
So there was over 300,000. There was over 300,000 people there.
Yeah,
guys,
it was packed.
It was a sea of people, just fantastic sports fans, just happy people. It was amazing. And running into Raider fans was like a family reunion. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel privileged that even though I got to Nashville several hours late, I actually got to be in the very first block in that strip right in front of the stage.
Yes,
to see the actual 4th pick. I stood there in the rain I didn't care. Shoulder to shoulder with everybody. I wanted to make sure I saw the first pick.
Oh.
Hey, that turned out to be
when I turned around, I saw people literally 5-6 blocks deep behind me, and I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a rough night, but it turned out to be a good first round. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, the players are working out. They're playing well, you know.
Yes, we had an amazing time in Nashville, and who knew we would eventually meet Jonathan Abram, Trayvon Mullen, and Khalil Fairland. But that's a story for, another episode, huh, guys?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so, yeah, I mean, so the draft is wonderful in Nashville. You know, imagine what it's going to be like in Vegas, right? You're trying to make it to the Vegas draft, right, Mike?
Yeah. I told friends of mine, obviously some of these guys are not Raider fans, but they keep talking to Bruce and myself about Nashville. And I said, they're actually kicking themselves for not joining us. And I said, you should come to Vegas regardless of what team you root for. It's going to be one big party.
Oh yeah. And if anybody knows how to throw a party, it's the Raider Nation. You know what I mean?
Hey.
I just went to a bunch of parties.
Listen, RPP is going to be there, so we will give our listeners far enough advance notice of where we're going to be, because we want everybody to be with us. So we will give advance notice on that.
Yeah, we have to make sure that we don't wait till January or February to start making all the arrangements, or we might get locked out.
Yeah.
No worries. I got you.
Yeah.
No worries.
Right?
I got you.
Raider Nikki's got our back. We're going to be good.
That's right. It's going to be amazing.
All right, cool, Mike. So is there anything else you'd like to share with the Raider Nation?
Just looking forward to a kickoff this Sunday against the Chefs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
All right, cool. Well, Mike, man, thanks for sharing, dude. We'll make sure to get you back on.
Hey, thanks for having me again, guys.
Hey, no problem, man. You're the travel partner, so you're gonna be on. You're gonna be on often.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you, Homer. I know it's I guess the third week of October. So, Nikki and I are. I think the only thing we need to do is get some airfare, and everything else is done.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Now we have a trip before that, actually, September 29th, I believe. Yeah. So you and I will talk a little bit more about that.
All right, cool. Well, like I said, thanks for coming back on, and I look forward to having you back on to the Raider Party Podcast. Any final words, Nikki?
Thank you, Mikey, so much for sharing your experience in Nashville. Even though there was a little bit of something happening at the beginning of the trip, you were able to not only make the best of it, but have a spectacular time in one of the most beautiful cities in America. And we're going to continue to party in different cities throughout the U.S. I can't wait till we take our listeners overseas. The party don't stop. It keeps going. You and I are going to be heading up to the Jersey Shore soon. So listeners, stay tuned for more information about some fun things that will be happening up north.
What's up, Raider Nation? This is the Violator. You're watching the Raider Homer Channel.
Hey, what's up? This is Raider Todd Brown, and you're listening to Raider Homer Podcast Radio Show. What's up, Raider Homer? Raider Nation repping good.
Todd Brown is our next guest. He's been on this channel before. He's got Todd Brown Travel. He's the president of the South Mississippi Raiders Fan Club. He's an administrator in the Southern Alliance of the Raider Nation, and like as I mentioned earlier, he's the owner of Todd Brown Travel. So what he likes to do is book rooms. He'll block off hotels and he'll book buses to games and things like that. He's all about traveling. He's perfect for the channel. So I'm excited to get him back on.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and call him, okay?
Let's do it.
Hey, Homer.
Hello. How you doing, Ty?
Hey, Homer, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I'm excited. I just got back from Oakland, as I'm sure you know.
Yes, sir. I saw the pictures.
Man, can you believe how far this channel's come since November of last year, 2018?
Man, I'll tell you, you've done an excellent job in growing this.
I've been telling everybody that you've been on this channel before, dude. You were in the Raider Homer Superfan Show, episode 5, dude. And, you were one of the first people to come on the channel, dude. So you're responsible. You're part responsible for the success of this channel, and I really appreciate it, man.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on the show. And I love to be back on the show and just talk Raider talk and talk about upcoming trips and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I'm gonna segue a little bit and get off topic, because you know how I first met you, Ty? I first met you when I heard your voice on the Raiders Fan Convention app. Okay, now of course we met in Nashville, but
yeah.
I want to know, how did you get on the app?
I was on the app actually of the group 4Dub. 4Dub, it was their third album, and they had me on there, and so that got also put on the app. So that's how I got on there.
Yeah, I tripped out when I first heard Ty. I was like, what? Man, that was awesome. I know that guy.
Yeah. So it was 4Dub's album, and I got a chance to introduce them and everything. And we had those guys down to Mississippi. We had a beach bash a couple of years ago, a Raider beach bash in 2016 in Mississippi. And the guys flew in for the weekend and performed, and man, we had a great time.
Yes. I can't wait to do something like that. I cannot wait.
Yes, we're definitely looking into doing that sometime in the near future, of having another Raider beach bash. And of course, they had the one in Myrtle Beach, which was awesome this year, I heard. But that's very nice. So for people to go and support that would be great.
Now,
but we also want to do one here closer in the south towards the Mississippi, Florida area as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lucky was at that party, right, in Mississippi?
Yeah, Lucky came down. Some of the members from Central Texas came down. We had, of course, Peggy came down from D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Smallwood, who is president of the Fanatics in Phoenix, Arizona, came in. So we had a big representative from people coming all over. And it was nice. I mean, it was a nice weekend. It wasn't too big because it was our first one, but it was very nice. It was nice.
Well, that's awesome, man. Because you and Lucky, y'all are administrators in the Southern Alliance Facebook group, right? And that's kind of how that party got started, was through the Southern Alliance, right?
Yes, that's correct. That was actually one of the Southern Alliance first events. And we followed up with, of course, New Orleans a few months for the season opener in 2016. So we first started off with the beach bash and then followed it up with doing the meet and greet in New Orleans for the season opener.
That's awesome. And so, like I was saying earlier, we had you on the channel before, and in that, we were talking about poking the bear, reawakening the Southern Alliance. So, where are we on that? And for the people that don't know, what is the Southern Alliance?
The Southern Alliance was, and it is, excuse me, I'm not going to say the word was because it's still there, was formed with presidents and chapters from the South to get together, sort of like the Texas Raider Nation, of course, you know.
Yeah.
They had the whole state of Texas, but the Southern Alliance was with groups from Mississippi and Memphis, Central Texas. We even had Alamo City involved, Knoxville. So there was a lot of surrounding presidents that had came aboard on Southern Alliance for us to form and do events together in the South. And, you know, of course, the 2016 year, we had several events in the South when we did, and kind of our games haven't really been in the South for the last couple of years, so we kind of haven't really did any events. But it looked like this coming up season, of course, the game in Houston, we're working with Space City, and we're going to be doing myself and Vic Bad Guy Brown. We're going to be hosting the meet and greet for the Houston game Friday night.
And all three of us are going to be there for that. So Mike is going to be there, Homer's going to be there, and I'm going to be there, and my alter ego is also going to be there.
Hey, you know, and I'm working, you know, on getting a booth there at that meet and greet so that we can podcast from there.
Yes.
That'll be great.
Brother.
Yeah, so and we're great, and we were offering, you know, for vendors to come in, and if any vendors would like to come in for that, and once you come in as a vendor, you will be there for the whole weekend, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if you choose to. So, and we have our own banquet room there at the hotel, the Courtyard Marriott at the Galleria. So we're going to have the banquet room. We're going to have the lobby. It's going to be rated out. It's going to be a great weekend in Houston. Kicking off the meet and greet that Friday. And the Space City will be hosting a daytime party. President Israel and his club, Space City, will be doing a daytime party. And let me tell you, the last time we were in Houston, which was the playoff game.
I was there.
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Space City did it. Man, those guys on the tailgate was one of the best Raider tailgates I've been to. They did an excellent job.
Oh, yeah.
There was some great hosts that weekend for us to be down there in Houston, so I look forward to hanging out with them again.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Me too.
This is going to be so great. It's going to be so grand. So you're like the president of your club. You have a full-time job. Plus you have your own company. Ty, what? You're just doing it, and you're doing it well. You know,
Thank you.
Talk about having someone on the inside who can help with hotel accommodations and transportation. It's just a core value to know you, brother, and I'm glad that our listeners are getting an opportunity to get to know you better too. So what is it like having your own travel company?
It's great, Nikki. It's something that I've been doing now for 10 years, and when I first started doing this, I was just setting it up for Raider trips. And what my thing was, I gave people here in Mississippi, the first thing I did was ask people, okay, who has never been to a Raider game? You know, I asked the question. And a lot of them had never been to a Raider game. So I've given people over the last 10 years the opportunity to travel to a Raider game. And over the past 10 years, we've been to Jacksonville, Atlanta, Houston, Miami, Oakland. This year, we're going to Minnesota. So Nashville. So we've been able to experience that in growth, and so that's where when we go now, I love to set up hotels for people that's coming in town, and just like, hey, you know, if you want to stay at the same hotel with us and have a ball, I think Nikki, you got a little taste of that in Nashville at the draft.
Hey, oh my word,
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
So, I mean, we all had a great time just hanging out, and I tell you what, I enjoyed having breakfast with you guys every morning.
Yes. And don't forget happy hour too. When I could stagger in there, I would.
Yeah, happy hour too, Nikki. Happy hour too was great. and we all just had a good time. with the fellowship and just talking, the camaraderie. And I think that was the one thing that I would love to do now is that when we do travel, to say, hey, we got a host hotel. Let's all stay together. A lot of us know each other on Facebook and Instagram, but this gives us the opportunity to really have a meet and greet with each other in person.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds great.
And the one thing I tell people, if there's anything, like if you're going to another Raider game or something and you need help getting there, if I can help you out, I will definitely do what I can to help you out and get you a great price on it. So that's one thing I love to do is help my Raider brothers and sisters out as well.
Awesome, awesome. And so you were just talking about some of these trips that some of these games that you're going to this season. So do you have any spots open for them? Or are you sold out? And if not, how do people contact you? Even if you are, how do people contact you so in the future they can go through you to get to the games?
Sure. Well, they can reach me on Facebook, of course, at T.I. Brown, and they also can look it up as T. Brown Travel, which is one word, and they can type that in on Facebook or Instagram and look me up as T. Brown Travel, and also T.I. Brown. They can look me up and ask me any questions, message me anything on that. We have our first upcoming trip is the next week. We're going to Minnesota. I have a group of about 40 of us that's flying out to Minnesota for the Raiders-Viking game.
Awesome.
And so we're going to the game where hotel is right there at the Hampton Inn in Bloomington, Minnesota, which is right around the corner from Mall of America. So we're going to be doing that. And
I'm just so mad, Ty, because Mikey and I were supposed to go on this trip. And, due to our work obligations, we're not going to be able to go. So
right.
I'm so bummed out, man. But we're going to see you in Houston. That's a done deal. It's a wrap.
Houston's a done deal, y'all. Houston's a done deal. I've also helped a few people prepare for London. And I was glad a couple of people hit me up about going to London this year. And I helped them out with a few packages and everything, so that's great. And also, of course, going to a couple more games in Oakland. So it's exciting to be able to help my Raider brothers and sisters. I'm a football fan. Of course, I help other fans as well, but, I definitely cater towards my Raider brothers and sisters. So
Get it done, Ty, man. Congratulations, dude, on your success with this with Ty Brown Travel, dude. That's I'm happy for you, man.
Man, I appreciate it. And just want to, make sure, man, at Houston, if you're coming in Houston, we're going to be staying at the Courtyard Marriott at the Galleria. One of the reasons I picked that hotel because we're right there at the Galleria Mall. So that Friday says, hey, we can just walk, 5-minute walk to the mall. Very nice, we got a lot to do, of course, at the mall. I think everybody will enjoy that. Unfortunately, there's not no airport shuttle there or something, but, I think the area is so much to do, so I think we're really going to love and enjoy that.
And I'm a Marriott girl, too. Marriott is one of the hotels chains that I trust.
Right.
I really do. They give a high level of service no matter what city you're in.
And I'm looking for us at the meet and greet. I believe we're going to have a few surprises pop through that Friday.
Teasers galore in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also something else that we was going to, myself, Big Bad Guy, we're working on the meet and greet. And it's just pretty much going to be a nice meet and greet for everybody to come in. But also we're working on doing a special tribute to Cliff Branch while we're in Houston at the meet and greet.
Oh,
that's awesome.
We're working on some ideas about doing something, but we just wanted to, honor Cliff while we were in Houston, and I just think there's something that we want to throw together and put in for him, and just to show our appreciation for Cliff.
That is awesome. That is so thoughtful. This year, again, we're making history. And so thank you so much for honoring individuals. it's so easy to tear people down, Ty.
Yeah.
And you know where I'm coming from, where I'm speaking, because there's certain names that we can't speak right now out loud because it brings a tinge of emotional pain to people. But we cannot focus in on speaking negative.
Right.
We need to focus in on speaking positively and loving and embracing our family so that we can successfully go through this season and triumphantly walk through the gates to our new home.
Amen.
That needs to be our focus. We cannot be distracted by the foolishness of those who are confused about our destiny.
Right. And I have one more. Actually, I have a question for y'all while I got you on this podcast. Well, actually, a question for Raider Homer.
All right. Shoot.
Raider Homer.
I'm all ears.
How's your daughter doing?
She's doing great, man. 5th grade. She's 10 years old now. She's smart. You know, she's doing her chores now. You know,
Hey, I tell you, I enjoyed her in Nashville, man. I really did, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. And how's your family?
Yeah. Man, family's doing good, man. I have one that started college this year, and I got a 10th grader in high school playing football. So, hey.
Yeah, congratulations. I remember seeing the pictures about which one.
Yeah.
It was your son or your daughter, right? You got
my daughter my daughter just started her freshman year in college, and my son is a sophomore in high school. So, yeah, we're
yes.
Congratulations, Todd.
Yes.
Way to be a great parent, man.
Shout out to the kids.
Also just wanted to, just about, Nikki, you talked about earlier, me being president. And this year, with South Mississippi, I'm so excited because our membership has really grown. Our club right now, just from Mississippi, this area, I'm up to close to 50 members.
Awesome.
And I'm trying to join. I'm trying.
Come on, Nikki, come on. So I'm excited about the club growing. I have some great members. I have a great leadership crew, cabinet, from my vice president, my treasurer, secretaries, and sergeant at arms. Everybody's great with the club. Man, I tell you what, it's been an awesome journey with this club, and we're just going to continue to grow. So I look forward to bringing them to Houston and Minnesota. We're just going to have a great time and show Raider Nation some love.
Yes, South Miss, yes.
Way to be a leader through and through in the Raider Nation, Ty. Man, you're doing it all.
Appreciate it.
All right, cool, man. Well, huh?
I said I just want to thank you so much for the show, man. I really appreciate being on.
No problem, dude. You're welcome to come on. Anytime, dude. We're gonna definitely. You're in the plans, man.
Yes, brother.
Sounds great. I love having an open invitation. That's always good.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool, man. Well, we'll see you in Houston.
All right, man. Y'all have a blessed one.
You too.
All right, bye, brother.
All right, Raider Nation.
Raider Nation. You know what? We're getting a lot of good information, and and we're getting some teasers. We're getting a lot of teasers in this episode.
What? There's so much about to happen. It's about to go down.
But all the tips and tricks, they're coming in. I know my trip's gonna be smooth sailing next time, and I'm sure yours is also. So, speaking, saying that, when is your next trip?
So the plan is to go north now to the Jersey Shore for a watch party later this month. In the meantime, in between time, you can find me with the DC Metro Raiders, aka DCMR, at the Luz City Bar in Washington, D.C. That's where the watch party is. Any game day, if I'm not on the road, I'm at home at Luz City Bar. Where are you going to be when you're at home?
Well, if it's a primetime game, I have to watch it at home. But if it's if it's on Sunday, then take Sophia up there to Bombshells when we go watch the game with the Silver and Black of Central Texas. Bombshells is our new home. We were in Big Daddy's for almost half a decade, maybe close to a decade. But that bar unfortunately shut down, so we've moved to Bombshells in Pflugerville.
Okay. Well, it's still, that's another thing that maybe we'll do a segment on bars and hometown bars, because it's not uncommon that clubs have to move to a different bar for different reasons.
Right.
And I'm thinking about somebody specifically on the East Coast that has a very interesting story to tell about what happens when you have to switch bars.
There we go with the teasers again.
Hey, that's what Raider Nikki does. He gives you teasers. Raider Wea gives you attitude. I mean, you're going to get something. Come get you some.
All right, so remind the listeners how to contact us.
You know what, guys? We are easy to contact 24/7, 365 via email, RaiderPartyPodcast@gmail.com. On Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, Raider Party Podcast. And most importantly, on YouTube, on the Raider Homer channel, Raider Party Podcast. Please continue to support us by listening and liking. We're going to keep bringing you good content. We love spending time with you. This is an incredible season, a historic season, and we're so happy to be able to share it with you. Until next time, whether you're hanging out at home or on travel, be safe, be satisfied. Bye for now.